So about hairlines, it seems that proper hairline design has been a challenge for our field forever. Back in the 90s, we dealt with straight pluggy hairlines. We eliminated the plugs, but still hairlines often did not look natural. And now we deal with black market hairlines. I think it's safe to say if you don't get the hairline right, nothing else matters. And yet so often the hairline is wrong. Ron, how would you summarize the evolution of the hairline in hair restoration surgery?
Well, you're absolutely right. When I first started, it was very obvious that there's two things that were important to patients. If you want a happy patient, you could really get rid of everything else and say two things. They want to look natural more than anything. If you don't do it natural, if they don't look natural, they're going to be unhappy. And to be natural, of course, not everything, but a large part of that's the hairline. The other thing is they want to have the density and coverage they want, and that's a separate issue. Actually, nowadays it's maybe even a more difficult issue. But so naturalness was critical. And in the beginning, when you had big plugs, people said, "Oh, people did bad work," but really they didn't have any choice. When you have big plugs, you can't create a natural hairline. You can't distribute hair. All you can do is do big plugs, and to get rid of the pluggy look, you have to fill it in, so you get all this density up front. It looks terrible. What happened was a few people began to realize that this didn't work, and they started to make the grafts smaller and smaller. I mean, we went to mini grafts and quarter grafts, and then finally a few people figured out maybe we can do these, what they called micrografts. And this was right when I was coming in. A few people were taking a few one-hair grafts and putting them in front of the bigger grafts, and that actually looked better. That's sort of when I came in. It was okay, but it wasn't great. And then the evolution really became that more and more of these smaller grafts started being used and less of the bigger grafts.